I look weird with pink glasses, but it's okay. I'm gonna see if I can get some people up here so I can say hello. How are you? It's been a while. Been a procrastinator. I'm procrastinating a bit when it comes to YouTube. Oh, I need the mic. Hold on. What is it called? I don't know if you can hear me, but I have the mic on. If you can, please. If you can, type. If not, ultimately busy. Just wanted to come up here and say hello. How are you? I'm a bit in a funk lately. But, hello, Carissa. I've been in a funk lately. I've been working so much. I'm like in a mood. Like I don't want to do nothing. I want to go watch TV right now. But I was like, some of you. Hi, Melissa. How are you? I need my readers now. I don't know what happened. Turned 50 kind of. I know. I'm sorry I haven't been posting videos. I've just been working. Like, I had to pay off my laser, the other half of the laser, because it is now, literally, they're shipping it today. My big giant laser, not the orphan baby laser that they lent me. And then I've had to make some decisions concerning that. If I'm going to keep the orphan one that they let me borrow, or if I'm going to return it, or if I'm going to buy both of them. And they're huge financial issues to figure out what you're going to do. Just buying the big laser was a huge financial issue, but now going into the decision of, am I going to keep both? So yeah, it's been kind of a lot. The good thing is I've been getting a lot of work. So the awesome thing is I am paying the laser in cash. Both lasers are going to get paid in cash because I decided to keep them. But in that, it's what's going to make me money, and that's working for my clients. And YouTube takes so much time to edit that it's been editing a video for 6 hours or getting 2 or 3 quilts done in those 6 hours. So it's been kind of like a hello from San Diego. So yes. Dang. I have made tumblers. I know how to do tumblers on the laser now, which is awesome. On my birthday, I got I know it's not quilting, and I'm sorry, but I think it's cool because I made myself a tumbler that says Lorena's Quilting on it, which I was going to be while I was talking to y'all, but it's in my kitchen, so sorry. I didn't get to show it to you, but it's really nice. It came out really, I'm so excited that I did it under pressure of fear or failure. Yeah. I don't know if y'all have that with me. I'm the biggest procrastinator when I'm under, when I don't know how to do something, I really do procrastinate. Just let me know what color you want. I have white. I have big ones and I have little ones. And honestly, Carissa, right now, I'm like doing it on the cheap because I'm learning. I had my Sweet Honeybee event and I bought these little, they said they're wine tumblers. They're little tumblers. Hi, Tiffany from Quilting Life. How are you? Yes, I'm doing good. I got these little tiny tumblers that I did the Sweet Honeybee, and the neat thing is I was able to do a tumbler and kind of bless somebody with it as a reward for doing paper piecing, because at the Sweet Honeybee we did a paper piecing challenge. We did paper piecing, I think last month, and you had to turn your piece into a usable functioning item. So I'm excited about that. And so, yeah, I just wanted to come up here. I know it's been what, last month I don't think I posted that much, because normally I used to post 2 videos a week, I think I barely got one video in every week. I mean, I got them in like, this one this week, I think this month, I don't even have any videos posted, but I am going to promise go downstairs. I was leaving like my camera. I was going to film right now, like go ahead and film a video, and I was going to film a favorites. And hi, Darlene, my monitor is here. Let me see. Hello. I'm sorry, I don't know how you say your name. Carola? I hope I'm sorry I'm saying it. And so it's just been busy, and I've been focusing on working for my clients because I want to pay my laser off in cash. So I've been like, you should see me. I'm crazy. I think your name is Garland from Michigan. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. So I've been running like a crazy person. Seriously, you should see me. I'm quilting like 4 quilts in one day. I'm shipping them. I'm like running like a crazy person. I did a vinyl job. Oh, sometimes, man. I don't know if you've ever had like hard clients, and they themselves are not hard clients, but the job you're doing for them becomes extremely difficult. And there is like, I had a client who told me one thing and I misunderstood what she was saying. Then I tried to fix it, but then she told me something else and I misunderstood what she was saying. But the problem is, by that time I already heat pressed, it was 30 logos on 10 shirts. And so I was so discouraged with that, because it sucks when you do a job and your client isn't happy with you, and they're so unhappy with you that you told them you would redo the shirts and they refuse to respond to you. I don't know what to do anymore. I was just like, So yeah, it's been a thing. Hi, Jennifer Watts. Nice to see you. I'm sorry, I have to wear readers now. I have to wear readers. Dollar Tree has readers for $1.25 now. So just saying. Let me see. No, Clarissa. It's not even. I have great clients. It's okay. So I'll tell you the story. Okay, let me share. Maybe I'm even asked a couple of people, am I wrong? Please, I'm okay if I'm wrong, and I'll take responsibility. I don't care. If I mess something up, I'm the first to say, yep, it was me. I did something wrong. I'm the first. So it's a vinyl job, and the client has a circle logo with lettering. I've done some work for her, and I'm very much the kind where I'm like, I'll take a picture. This is what you want. I think like when Carissa, I did your quilt, I'm like, do you like this design? Or I shared with you, this is the spacing. These are the things we're going to have to deal with. Like, I'm very open in trying to explain myself as clearly as I possibly can to my clients. I even show visuals, like, this is what you want. So, let me see. So the logo was a circle with lettering, okay? And she brought me shirts, and she said to me, she says, Lorena, I want the circle logo down the spine of the back. I'm like, okay. So I'm imagining she wants the circle part of the logo big, beautiful, down the back of the shirt. Then she says that she wanted, what did she want? She wanted the same logo with the circle with the lettering, but she just wanted the lettering in the front of the chest. So I thought that she was splitting one logo into 2 parts, like the circle for the sleeve and the circle for the back, and then the lettering just in the front panel. No, it wasn't that. It was, I don't know, guys. If I said I want a circle logo down the spine, what would you think? You want the circle part. Or if I said I want the lettering in the front, I guess you would say just the wording. Well, sure enough, she wanted the circle with the lettering not on the horizontal, but on the vertical going down the spine. Total misunderstood her. And then when she said lettering, I thought she just wanted the word, the name of the person, but no, in her mind, she wanted the circle with the lettering. What a mess. What a mess. And I assumed that her verbiage would be what I understood, but nah, it's not. Hi, Courtney. How are you? Hi, Darlene. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Graylin. Hope I'm saying your name right. I hope I'm calling everybody out right. So, yeah, I just finished that job. It's crazy. Let me just say this. Some jobs, I think I'm going to do a video on what kind of business you can make money, because I do all of it, right? I'm doing embroidery, I do vinyl, and I do long arm quilting. What business makes you the most money? Kind of like the vinyl business, the embroidery business, or the long arm quilting business. So I was very frustrated because doing vinyl, you make a lot of money based on material, but to cut and weed vinyl takes a lot of time. So on her job, I spent 5 days working on her job, organizing, because she had different color shirts, different color vinyl, different kind of logos in different places. So, and I'm not that's not my jam all the time. So it took a lot of time. And I was very upset with myself because I was like, dang, in these 5 days, I could have quilted at least one quilt every day and gotten 5 quilts. But that wasn't the job. And so, yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. A 5-day job. And then when I was so excited when I finished it, I'm like, look, I got it done for you. Do you love it? And she was just like, that's not what I wanted. I go, on your paper, it said, put words, the lettering. And I love her comment to me because it just said it all for the whole thing. She goes, what did she say? That's not who I am. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. And I was just like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? I just met you. That's not who I am. And then when I asked her about the circle logo on the back of the shirt, because she says, that's not what I wanted. And I said, you said circle logo on the back of the spine. She's like, no, I want this. So then she showed me what she wanted. I love what she said to me. She goes, well, usually we go on the internet and we buy stuff like on the internet. And she said to me, she says, if it's a problem, I don't have to go local. Yeah. So if you're like, where's Lorena been? I've been weeding vinyl and dealing with the client and trying to handle myself appropriately and trying to make her happy. But I still didn't make her happy, no matter what I tried. I even offered to buy the 10 shirts, recut the vinyl again, reheat press the vinyl, and no response. No response. She's like, I'm out of here. So, hey, but how are y'all? So if you want to know what's going on with Lorena, cutting vinyl and dealing with the client, she was a good lady. I liked her. She was real sweet. I just, she wasn't showing me her vision. And her words were not expressing the vision well. So I wish she would have showed me pictures. Maybe I'm a pictogram kind of girl, like emojis. I don't know. So what do y'all think? What y'all thinking? So everybody's here. Well, some of you. Yes, I digitize logos for clients. As a matter of fact, there was a lady on my YouTube who asked me to digitize her logo, but her logo had so much details. Yes, I digitize. I do everything, or I try to do everything. If it is a simple enough logo, I'll digitize it. The thing is two things happen. I'll digitize for free if you bring me the work, but I own the copyrights of the digitized logo. I don't own the copyrights of the logo, but the digitized embroidery logo. So clients will come and bring me a whole bunch of their work. I'll just digitize it, and I'm not charging you for the time and energy. Now, if a client leaves me, I do go and I charge them for digitizing the logo, and I send them files. I usually send them, I'll do the run through a couple of times, and then I'll send them the file in a hat file, a shirt file, like a front panel file. What other file? I'll send it in different sizes so they can digitize it into hats, digitize it into front panels, and I also do a larger version of it. And they have to send me the USB, or I could send it to them on a zip file and email it to them. So yeah, I have. But people don't understand, like with embroidery, when you digitize logos, it's not, yes, your computer kind of does it, but you have to run it. Meaning you literally have to make sure that you do the digital design so that it is a good design. And digitizing can be extremely difficult if it's in a JPEG file and not in a vector file. So some of you who don't know, vector files are like what McDonald's use, Chick-fil-A use. Their files, like logos, they usually are pure red, black, bright yellow, or orange logos. Those are vector files. JPEG files are picture files. So you have all these little tiny pixels all the way around them. And some people will have a logo that has a lot of pixelation because it's a JPEG, it's a picture. And the digitizer has to go back and clean the logo to turn it into a vector file. So, but people think like, well, I sent you my logo, you should do it in a day. And sometimes a logo can take a good day or two, because once you digitize it, you have to go and run it. And then if it's not embroidering well, you go back in the computer, rework the digital design, then go back and run it until you finally have it. That it's a great logo. I remember this guy did work for him when I was going to college. I did his design, and it took me 3 days to finally get his design to work well, because it was a puffy hat logo. It was puffy, like it had the 3D element. And sure enough, I literally did it. Well, I just finished probably one of my semesters at A&M University, and I was trying to take care of everything. And I promised my kids, because when you're taking tests and you're going to college, you're studying all the time and you're in the books and you're just sitting there. I promised my kids after I passed my finals that I was going to spend the day with them. And because my kids, they saw me in a book. And they saw me. And so I took them to Mr. Gaddy's, and a client came to me and they said, we have like 100 shirts for you, 100 hats for you to do, but I need them. And this was Friday when I finished my exams. And he says, I want you to, have them done by Monday. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't, because I promised my kids today I'm going to take them to Mr. Gaddy's. And he was like berating me and harassing me and going crazy at me. And he told me that he was going to go somewhere else. And I said, that's fine, go somewhere else. And then he said, you need to email me the digital design. And I said, no, He goes, well, you embroidered my hats with that design. I said, yes, but you never paid me for it. And he goes, well, I found someone to do my hats. And I said, well, have them do your digital designing too. Let them digitize your logos. So I wouldn't sell it to him. I wouldn't, no matter what he'd pay me, because he was berating me and going crazy at me, and I was going to keep my word with my kids. But yeah, so you can, but digital logos, you can make a lot of money on them. But usually with my clients, I'm real good with them. I'll bless them with the thing. So you want an embroidery machine. Yeah, I haven't been on YouTube. I think also too, I feel guilty because I know I haven't been posting. And because I haven't been posting, I feel guilty. Like, oh, I feel bad, I haven't been posting. So I'm not been getting on YouTube because I also miss it. I miss the ability to like to post a video and then you see these wonderful comments of people like that love your channel or people who don't like your channel, and so I'm kind of like been in avoidance land, like yes, I'm glad you got an embroidery machine, girl. They are a blessing. Is it a 1 needle or a 6 needle? So, but how are y'all? Here I'm bantering about my stupidity. You're watching my older videos. You know what I want to do? I want to get my old videos and revamp them. And like I have piecing videos, and you got a brother personal. It's a single needle. That's how I started. Single needles are wonderful. That's how I started. Play with it. Embroidery Me has really great designs, Tiffany, and if you want supplies that are pretty cheap, I have a video on embroidery, but you don't have to watch my video. What is it called? Allstitch.com has embroidery thread, like the big spools. You probably need little ones, right? But they have big embroidery spools for like $7. Okay, they used to be $7. I don't know anymore. But you can also get different like stabilizers really on the cheap, where you can get a whole roll of and if you're going to be doing embroidery, yes, allstitch.com, get cutaway, tearaway, and get sticky stabilizer. I don't know if you're going to need it since you have a 1 needle, but for sure you'll need a cutaway and a tearaway, and I would get a water soluble. And they have them in rolls. They used to be, I don't know anymore, where you could get quite a bit of stabilizer for like $15. And that's where I get my big rolls, from allstitch.com. They also have embroidery nippers. They also have the Peggy Stitch remover, but you could use a peanut instead of that one. A peanut is it's a clipper that works just like the Peggy Stitch razor. I was going to do a video on that, and now that I'm thinking about it, I could do that video. But okay, I'm doing good. That's good, Courtney. I'm glad you're working and making YouTube content. They still have rolls. Yeah, I'll recommend getting a roll, not the sheets, because the sheets are specific to certain dimensions. If you get a roll, you could cut it to whatever dimension you want. But I love allstitch.com. Force spool holder. Just be careful with a single needle, because hats, like if you get Hobby Lobby, Dollar General hats, they don't have that thick. Do I have a hat up here? I used to have a hat up here. They don't have that thick interfacing on them to keep them lifted. You end up breaking a lot of needles on a single needle embroidery machine. But try it. Maybe or get a thicker needle, like a blue G needle, when you're doing embroidery. I don't know if you could do that with your machine, because you can. You just have to be careful with your needle, especially when you're doing hats. But you can use the Dollar General, the hats that don't have that much support. And then if you wanted to, you can add support to it. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are okay. I'm trying to figure things out. Like right now, I was downstairs. I was now that I'm keeping the orphan baby, which I'm adopting her, I decided to keep her because I was doing tumblers and stuff, and I feel it would be nice to have 2 machines just in case one breaks down. I have the other one, and if I'm doing tumblers on one machine, I can cut other stuff on the other. I am just at this period just learning the equipment before I get into like anything else. Learning. I think I have I honestly, Tiffany, like I have a hat hoop system for my one needle, and it just didn't work for me. I may even look for it and send it to you, because I think it was a universal needle, universal hat hoop system. But if I find it, I'll message you. But I don't know if I'll even know where it's at. But it just didn't work for me. But you could still do beautiful stuff. You can make patches. You could do a whole bunch of really neat stuff. I did quilts and put names on them. Yes, Robin. And I right today I was like, what did I do? Why am I buying both? What am I thinking? But the rotary that I bought, they don't have a schematic system, or they do, but I don't know if they do, for the Nova 14 that I'm buying. And when you're doing the tumblers, you have to move out the crate thing. I don't know. I could be just the most dumb, crazy person ever getting myself into this. Okay. Someone says, Miss Lorena, why doesn't your subscriber count show on my iPad? I don't have it on. I don't let people see my subscriber count. But I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I have 21,000 subscribers. Well, first of all, it's a mental thing for me, because there was a time where so initially you're trying to grow your subscriber count so you can get monetized. And people tend not to watch videos with people who have low subscriber counts. And that's the truth. They just don't watch those videos. And so when I first started, that was one of the reasons where I only had like maybe 100 subscribers, 80 subscribers, or even like 500. How it was, people don't tend to watch those videos. So I noticed, for me, when I removed the subscriber count, it became less of a mental thing for me personally, because no matter how many subscribers you have, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to you, monetize wise. It only matters to you till you get 1,000. Once you get 1,000 subscribers, you're able to be monetized. But after 1,000 subscribers, it doesn't matter at all, because what matters is views, and that's what you make your money off. So I have I have like 3 videos, and this is what's crashing my channel. I have some videos that I have almost 500,000 views on one of the videos, and those videos make me the most money. But the issue with that, those are how to remove vinyl off of a shirt. And so people are subscribing to my channel for that video, but then they're not interested in quilting, and they're not interested in long arm quilting. They're not interested in that, but I'm making money off of. I've made 3 videos on removing vinyl. 1, how to remove vinyl with a certain chemical. The 2 is removing vinyl with acetone. Another one is removing screen printing. And so those videos make me money. They literally, I could sit here and not post, and those videos are making me bank. But people are subscribing, but then when I post my real content, which is quilting, they're like not watching it. So that's where I say that I think I'm going to change some things with my channel, where I'm going to have a channel of just piecing, like paper piecing quilt tops, doing stuff like that, because then the content stays the consistent content. But I didn't know, and when I started doing YouTube, that if you added variety, that it could crash your YouTube channel. It could affect the way the algorithm affects your channel. So if you're doing a YouTube channel, you can't change your content on YouTube. You have to make sure that it's constant, meaning if you're a quilting channel, just quilting. If you're a piecing channel, you need to focus a lot on piecing, even though quilting is piecing, long arm quilting is quilting and piecing, but people are really invested in that content. So for me, I got a lot of subscribers who wanted to watch the business of long arm quilting. And so now I'm stuck in the algorithm of making videos focused solely on piecing, working on quilting. And my algorithm is also very connected to business because I've talked about the embroidery business, long arm quilting business. So if I start making videos on making money, my YouTube channel will start thriving. But I don't know. It can't be all about money, or is it? So I removed the subscriber count for one, me not to focus on it, and for two, for other people not to notice it, because I want people to join my channel because they like who I am. Does that make sense? And so just be careful when you're starting a channel. I'm sharing a nugget treasure with you because YouTube will put you in an individual box. For example, I did a wedding veil and I embroidered a wedding veil. That video is doing very well, but it's not quilting. So people are subscribing to that video and they like it, but they're not maybe interested in long arm quilting. They're not interested in the business of quilting. They're not interested in the other stuff that I do. And so I'm the kind, and y'all should already know this, I don't like just doing one thing. I love embroidery. I love vinyl. Just recently, I didn't like vinyl so much. I love quilting. I love piecing. I love serving my community. And now you see that I want to try a new love, which would be lasering. But when you veer off, and I think a tree doesn't have one branch, but on YouTube, you can only really have one branch. But a real tree has a lot of roots. It spreads itself out. It doesn't have one resource of water. It doesn't just rely on one area. And so, yeah, my YouTube channel is kind of like, there's some people who just are focusing on their same content and they're thriving because the subscribers that are subscribing to them are getting the same content. But I think sometimes the reason I'm having problems doing videos, I'm bored about, aren't y'all bored? Maybe you're not. I'm kind of bored of just sharing long arm quilting workday. Do I really want to, I don't know. Do I really want to just be doing that? Do you want those kind of posts constantly? I think variety is important. We don't eat the same thing every day. So I think content should have variety. But on YouTube, they don't care. They care about what makes them money. Because YouTube literally will take half of what you make. So if I made $1,000 this month or $2,000, YouTube will take 1,000 of it. If I make $500 this month, YouTube will take half of it. And so YouTube is concerned about them receiving the money they can. So they're constantly promoting the removing vinyl videos because they see that it's getting views and it's getting subscribers. And that's why they're not promoting my other videos, because even though those videos would probably do well, but the algorithm is not showing that. So yeah. So Tiffany, you're probably succeeding because your content is consistent to what you do, and you have a certain style that people watch you. And so I kind of like changing it up because I like changing it up. Let me see. Yeah. Thank you for watching FTF. Thank you for just watching. Yeah. And so I'm just, you just have to just YouTube, you just have to do it because you love it. Because in the end, very few people are making the millions that they're saying. And you have to hit an algorithm anomaly sometimes to get there. Like, I did YouTube for a whole year before I even got paid a penny. And I'm going to be honest, my first check on YouTube, and I didn't even know that I could have even started monetizing. I had, at one time, YouTube was based on views. So if you look at my channel, I do have a high view content, meaning I have almost 3 million views, but I only have 21,000 subscribers. And so some of my videos have hit. They've done very well, and it took me a year to do videos every week to be able to even get monetized. And I've talked about this. There's some cheaters out there that use other people to give them shout outs so that they could take their subscribers and join them into their channel. And there are cheaters out there that will literally start commenting on your channel to try to get the people that love you to go with them. And it's okay, but it's a game. It's a game. And so you have to just, if you're going to do YouTube, do content you're proud of, do content that makes you like who you are, and do not rely on the dream of YouTube, because I get money, I get paid by it, but hell if I can live off of it at this time. I can't live off of it. And it's very discouraging. I'm being honest for you guys who view. I could post 2 videos a week, and sometimes I'll be like this. When I don't post, for some reason YouTube starts sending me out. And then sometimes it'll just, if I start posting like every other day or every week, I would think you would get more views, but people get bored of watching you. So then it goes like this, and then it crashes down. And emotionally, YouTube content creators can get depressed by it. And also too, sometimes YouTube, once you get subscribers and you feel like, okay, I'm growing, my channel's growing, YouTube will go and they'll do a cleanup. And what they'll do is, if people are not watching your content consistently or on the regular basis, they'll unsubscribe people who subscribe to you, because I've literally had people like, you disappeared from my channel and I haven't seen you in forever, and what happened to you? And I'm like, I'm posting every week. But you're just gonna have to do what you love and share it because you love it, and not look at the numbers. And so that's why I don't rely on the subscriber count. I rely on the wonderful comments. Like, I get so many wonderful comments. It's like, I love your channel. You made me laugh today. I went through a hell of a week, and you really were a blessing in my life. And I thank you for your time, and I appreciate you. And I've really met some wonderful friends. I have a friend, her name is Shelly Salinas. I love her. And she was a YouTube content watcher of mine. I met her at a quilt store, and she was part of me creating the Sweet Honeybee. I've met some wonderful human beings in this, in the YouTube. I have a friend, her name is Rebecca Mitchell. She sends me her quilts, and I love her. She is an out-of-state client, and she wants me to go on vacation with her and go and visit her. And me and my husband are really considering going this September to go visit a subscriber and just hang with them. I mean, so there is not necessarily a monetary value, but a personal relationship value that I would have never had if it wasn't for YouTube. I had issues with one of my daughters. This wonderful lady message me and says, I'm praying for you. Are you okay? You've been heavy in my heart. Like, what can I do for you? Like, I think that's how YouTube has really financially, emotionally has invested in my life. Like, you guys even willing to come and the funny thing is, I've had more messages from you guys. We're worried about you. Are you okay? What's going on? Are you all right? And this month I hit the 21 mark, right? 21,000 subscribers. And before, that was very appealing to me. Like, oh, now I'm valuable because I have 1,000 subscribers, or now I'm valuable because I have 10,000, or now I'm valuable, now I'm important. Is that the thing? But the truth is you're still the same person when you had 0 to 100. You're the same person when you have 10. You have to stay and be the same person no matter where you are in this journey. You're just gonna have to love it. And so yeah. And if I've noticed, if you think about the million plus subscribers, they're still very discontented. They're very dissatisfied. You could see that they're still not whole. They're still not, it's crazy to see it too. Cause one girl who I watch, I like her a lot. And she says, I'm really discouraged that this year I didn't hit 1 million subscribers. She had 967,000 subscribers. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And people love her. And because it's not the number, she was discouraged entering 2021. We're in 21, right? Or 22? We're in 20. I don't know what year we're in. She was so dissatisfied. And I'm like, if I can't appreciate, because it is discouraging, I'm going to be honest. There was a time where I was like, really? My channel's crashing? And I said, Lorena, you were doing this when you only had 90 subscribers. 95. You only had 50 views. 50 views. 50. And I go, and now you post a video and you're getting, maybe 1,000 views, maybe 100 views. That means you've impacted 1,000 people. 1,000 people have seen you and what you share. Or 400. Can you imagine being in a room with 100 people? That's what YouTube gives you. You could be in front of 100 people who see you, and they see your heart, they see your character, they see who you are, they see your intentions, they see your games, they see your motives, they see your wicked behavior, they'll see you. And I think being on YouTube, you want, for me personally, I went to prayer today. I went to prayer, and I was kind of like, I don't want to cry. I've had a really hard month. And maybe that's why I haven't posted, because I don't want to bring that to here, because I want to be a blessing to y'all. But I had a hard month, and I heard the Holy Spirit say in my heart, Lorena, you need to do YouTube still. Like, don't give it up. He says, you're blessing a lot of people. Like, even if you only bless 10, or if you only 5 see you, those 5 are receiving something from you. And so if you're doing YouTube, don't get caught up in this, because it's crazy, man. I've seen some wicked people succeed on YouTube, and you don't want to be one of them, because everybody you influence, I feel, as a minister, you're accountable to them before God on how you impact them. You can impact them to be better people, or you can impact them to be wicked people, because we tend to mimic others. And so in my heart, like I was telling my son, I could sell the hell out of everybody. You need to buy my product. You need to buy my item. I got sponsored. You need to buy this sponsor. You need to make me money. And I don't want to go to hell for trying to get people to buy my trash that I know it's trash. because I'm ripping people off. And I rather just be a blessing and not take advantage of this. Because some people, they want to succeed on YouTube to take advantage of you. How many, I've done it. One time a girl, one of my favorite beauty gurus, and I love her, she literally said, I love this lipstick. I love it. It's the best lipstick ever. It's the best lipstick I ever had. And she got sponsored by them. And I went to the stupid store and bought 10 of those lipsticks that she said were the best lipsticks ever. And guess what? They were the worst lipsticks ever. Let me say, Revlon, it's a great lipstick. I'm just saying, it lasts forever. Favorite. But I'm not telling you to buy it. But you know what I mean? I went to the store and bought 10 of them, thinking different colors, different types. It smeared my face. It fell off. It didn't last long, like she said. It broke down real ugly. It made me look dirty. I looked like a clown with a big ugly mouth. And my opinion of her, like, changed. And now when she says, buy this, I'm like, fast forward. You're a thief. You're a con. Fast forward. And it even changed my, like, I don't like her as much because she's how many people like me went to buy the dumb lipstick because you love someone who you watch. And so let me say, yeah, you found me when I renovated my kitchen. Yeah. I love my kitchen, by the way. I'm cooking more in it. I thought if I had a beautiful kitchen that I would be cooking in it all the time, and that's a lie. I thought if I had a Bowflex, I would work out and have a beautiful body like that, but that's a lie. You know, some of us think, well, if I have a long arm like Lorena, you'll be happy. That's a lie, because those external things don't make you happy. If I had a business like Lorena, you'd be happy. I want to share, like, this business. I'm under a lot of pressure. I feel pressure. I am under pressure. And in my heart, I want a lot of business. I want a lot of quilts to quilt. I want a lot of work. But now that I'm getting a lot of work, I'm under a lot of pressure. Like, I liked it when I would be able to take a day or two off and just fiddle around and just kind of like lillygag around because I had time. And now I'm like, YouTube or quilts? YouTube, quilts, no, YouTube. Now I'm like juggling. Do a YouTube video, quilt my clients' quilts. Do a YouTube video. And then lately it's been clients' quilts. I don't have time for YouTube. But the truth is, nothing external will ever satisfy you because it's an internal work inside of you. I would love to have, I have a lady who started her channel and she shot off, and I look at her and I would love to have what she's having, but I don't want to deal with the criticism she's having. I don't want to deal with the pressure she's under. I don't want to deal with the YouTube literally is a rat race. I'm serious. It's a rat race. Once your one video hits, you want to grab another video and you want to pop it on there and you want it to hit, and people may not even like that video, and so YouTube, it hits, and that one video, it'll make this one crash, and then you'll crash. And you worked your butt off. You worked 8 hours working on a video and just putting a lot of time, and no one watches it. And it's not your fault, and it's not your viewers' fault. It's YouTube who decides to say, we're not sending this one away. We're not sending this one out. We don't care. Some of my favorite videos are videos that have done the worst. I have one video, and I love this video. It's my favorite products, my favorite applique products. I laugh at myself because I'm so stupid. I love that video, and I think for years that video barely got 100 views, but I watch it for myself like, but it's just, and to be honest, even quilting for clients. Like I literally did 100 logos for the client, and it was the most miserable job I've ever done. It was miserable because no matter what I tried to do for this human being, I was not getting it. And then you should have seen me downstairs panicking in anxiety because I'm like, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to. And then I had to calm myself down like, you're going to have a heart attack. You're going to die being so anxious to not mess something up for this client. Just do the job. So I did the job, and I was excited that I finished it because of the pressure that I was putting myself on. And she still was pissed off at me. She was still mad. She was still like miserable. And so yeah, I'm just reading you guys, okay? What did Tiffany say? I appreciate everybody who just watches my channel. I mean, it's a privilege. It's yeah, thank you, Kathy. Wilkins. My maiden name is Wilkins, but with an E. But it used to have been, maybe we're related, because I was adopted. My dad, who adopted me, was Wilkins, Wilkins, but the military messed up and put E. So you're probably like part of my dad's family. Yeah, just I think for example, like the laser recently, okay, today I feel yeah, you probably are cousins, because sorry, I'm talking to Kathy Wilkins. My dad, he adopted me, and they said the military messed him up and put ENS, so on his documentation, but his name originally was INS. Be your authentic self on YouTube. Seriously, just and I've been doing this in 2014. I started doing this, and to be honest, I started doing it because I was dying. I was dying. I was real sick, and I was dying. The doctor says you're gonna die, and through all odds, I still made it. And the reason I started doing YouTube is I was like, I haven't gotten to sew. And when I felt that, I would, you must really love sewing. I wasn't upset like I didn't love my kids enough, or I didn't spend enough time with my family, because I have done those things. I just never got to do something that I loved, and I loved sewing at the time. And I remember when the doctor said, Lorena, you're going to die if you don't change things, and you need to just kind of get your act together. I said, I'm going to start doing YouTube videos on, in my original channel. When I first started, I would do a lot of piecing. I would make blocks. And the reason I made blocks is I bought 10 sewing machines so I could teach everybody how to sew. And I was teaching, so I bought 10 sewing machines so I could teach people in my church how to sew quilting. And we would teach the blocks, and they said, well, we want to learn how to do those blocks. And so I would make videos on those blocks. And so it forced me every week to do something on YouTube, and it forced me to sew. I guess YouTube forced me to sew. And then the reason I wanted to do YouTube is so if I did die, to be honest, if I did die, ooh, we're going deep here, guys. If I had grandchildren that I never met, oh Lord, they would see who I am. They would, that's deep. And so I wanted them to say, this is grandma, or this is who my mom used to be, because literally the doctor said, you're gonna die. You're that bad. I'm sorry. And so that's originally why I was doing YouTube. And then there was times I wanted to Yes, I'm crying. I'm sorry. Uh, I am so sorry. I just wanted my kids to be able to kind of go back and see and go back and show their kids who I was instead of like a picture. Of course, we have pictures, right? But a video of who I was, and I would share like stories, intimate stories. Like I have one, what victorious means to me. I share about my brother being mentally ill. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I wanted to hear them to hear like some stories about where I came from, or how I have a point of view, or how I think, and I wanted to kind of impart God into my grandchildren without me being there, if the doctor was right, you know. And so originally that's what it was about. And then I love some people. They would tell me, I'm sick with cancer, and can you please pray for me? And they would message me, and I would comment back to them, and then I would go and I pray for them. And so originally, and the truth is, I'm still dealing with that sickness. I'm still dealing with that sickness. And if I'm honest, I relapsed recently. So sorry. And I'm okay. Seriously, I'm okay now. But I relapsed. And I relapsed, I think in February, I relapsed. And I didn't know that I was sick again. And I'm fine. I'm not on medicine. I'm handling, it's getting fixed. But it's dealing with my stress levels. And so, but I'm so proud of the fact that my granddaughter, I love her. I have like 4 grandchildren now. And I've had 4 grandchildren now, and I've gotten to see them, and I've gotten to enjoy them. And it's kind of funny when I'll go to their house, my daughter's house. My sweet little granddaughter, she'll say, Ma, they call me Ami, you're on TV. You're on TV. And so sometimes my granddaughter, she's into YouTube now, watching YouTube, and she'll be like watching my channel, which I think it's funny. It is kind of funny. But yeah. And just be a blessing. Just be a blessing to yourself, to your family, to others. And if you're doing YouTube, or if you're doing anything, I know some of you are doing TikTok. There's only so much money you can gain in this world. There's only so many products and assets and material things you can gain. The honest reason why I wanted the laser, and I'm ridiculous, is I wanted to give stuff to people. Like, how can I bless someone where it doesn't cost me a fortune? Well, it is costing me a bit, but in the long run, what can I do to be a blessing? So I don't know, but if you want to know why the YouTube thing has been a thing, it's because I was dying. And sorry, my hair's crazy. And you just have to enjoy every day. In my relapse, God, fear comes in when you're sick. You start to panic. Am I going to live tomorrow? What's going to happen to me? How do I handle it? And I had to decide that every day I woke up was a gift, and The Word of God says, He says, today is the day the Lord has made, and to delight in it, no matter what the day is. Like, delight in the day where your car breaks down. Delight in the day when you see bills that you can't afford. Delight in the day that everything falls apart. Delight in the day where and to delight, take pleasure in it. Because I was thinking the other day, I said, well, like I told my husband, and my husband was in shock. I told my husband, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's 8 years since I first got sick. I said, the Lord's given me some wonderful 8 years. Like he's given me 8 years to sew. He's given me 8 years to sew. He's given me 8 years to give quilts away. He's given me 8 years to do YouTube. He's given me 8 years to laugh, to hang out with my dogs. He's given me 8 years to see my 4 grandchildren in my life, and to see my young adult children become good people. Like, he's given me 8 years to see him lose his hair. My husband, he's given me, and all I could say is, like, I'm so thankful for it. Like, I don't know, I love Melanie Ham. She used to say I heart quilting, her video, and I love her. I used to watch her. She was one of my favorite content creators, and I think in January she died. She just recently passed, and just I appreciate, like, I understand her kids are going to be watching her content and watching everything that she shared all those years for us and for her family. And I was thinking about her, just, Lord, time is short, and it's not promised to any of us, And so enjoy. I know you have to pay your bills, and you have to do your life, and you have to take care of all these pressures, and I was there, but schedule once a week or something that you love. Schedule it. And if you can, schedule it 1 hour out of your life, out of your day. Yesterday, Sunday, I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. I don't know why. And I feed birds now. I have baby birds everywhere. I feed birds. I love feeding birds. And my favorite bird is the cardinal, because my spiritual mentor told me a story about the red cardinal and I'll share with you a story because it's been with me since 99, since 95. She told me the story. She told me that she read a book about Jesus on the cross, and the ugliest bird was a cardinal, and the ugliest bird sat on the cross singing to Jesus to comfort him, and Jesus says, I will reward you today. And the cardinal just kept singing, and he told the ugly bird, to touch the blood of Christ, and he says, I will reward you with the color of my blood, because you sang to me. Okay, that was the book story she read to me. And when I've had the hardest moments of my life, I see cardinals now. They're a thing, the little red birds. So I got a bird feeder for cardinals, and they couldn't see. I've had the feeder out there for like months, nothing, like a dry well, like nothing, nothing. And the day I found out that I relapsed, my son sent me a picture of a male cardinal guarding the branch so the mother cardinals can get on the feeder. That was just like, okay, I'm gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. So now I sit there in the morning, every morning, watching these sweet little red-chested cardinals. I think they're the mamas, feeding off the feeder, to feed her babies while the male cardinal sits on the branch fighting with the squirrel that tries to get the seeds that I put out there. I don't know. That just makes my day. But do something that makes you happy today, no matter what. Because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You don't know. So let's see. The Quilting Guild. I left my Quilting Guild. I have a sweet honeybee that I'm running. I did do a retreat recently, and I had the best time. I had 8 people go to the retreat. The weirdest thing is I found out that I was sick 2 days before I went to the retreat, and I went anyway. I should have gone to the hospital, but I went to the retreat instead. I went to the retreat, and I had a great time. I didn't tell anybody what was going on with me. I just wanted to go and enjoy my day and just live that day because it was given to me. And we were there, I believe it was 2 nights and 3 days at the retreat. And honestly, it was the best time ever. So I'm sorry I got deep, okay? So sorry. I just wanted to share that you have to decide to love every day. And it's a decision. It's a decision. But I was telling my husband, and my husband was panicking. I think my husband, he just like, I don't know. But we're good. We're going to survive everything. Yes, I love sewing. As a matter of fact, I've been so busy. I can't wait when that laser comes in, and I've already paid for the large laser. Just updating. I'm paid for it. It's coming in this week. But I'm purchasing the baby laser, the orphan baby. And so I'm gonna pay for the orphan baby laser. So I'm going to pay half of that one, and then I argued with them that they gave me a deal with it, and I also argued with them that they need to give me more time to pay in increments for the rest of the laser. And so after I think this month, give or take, the pressure is going to be off of me. It's really hard to come up with $20,000 when you're working, and it's hard to come up with that kind of money. I'm not saying that's what I paid currently. I had to come up with $7,000 to cover the other half of the laser, and I paid the other half the year before. But it's weird. In November, September, and December, like the fall, it's almost like my business dried up. I didn't get a lot of work. I was finishing work that I had, and I was almost very unproductive. I didn't have a lot of work. And so, like I said, working is finicky. But the weirdest thing is when I left the Grange and I left the Quilt Guild, like walked away completely from that community and left Quilts of Valor, January, my business has exploded. And so, which is a blessing, because in getting a lot of work, it gives me a lot of ability to pay off the rest of the machine and pay it in full and not have any debt involved into that. So, but I'm having to manage my stress now. I want to stay healthy. I'm healthy currently now. I am regulating what was going on with me. And the blessing is I've lost 25 pounds. So we have to applaud that. And so, yeah, I think I'm at the end. I'm leaving the end of it. Like, kind of, I hope the Lord gives me another 8 years. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do what I love now, because I don't want to regret it later. And I'm thankful that I've lost weight, and I'm gonna, yeah. So I'm just managing everything, so I'm doing good. But I think after this, I pay this increment of the little laser. The other payments are going to be really simple to pay, and I'm going to be done with it. Probably we're in February, April, April, May, June, July. In July, I'll be completely done paying off the lasers, and I'm paying everything off by just doing long arm quilting, and so I'm thankful for the work, but it's pressure. We're like, it's just pressure, guys. You guys just don't know. It's pressure. Everybody's like, I wish I had a business like Lorena. No, you don't. No, it's easier to work for someone than work who carries the burden of the business than to work for yourself who carries the burden of the business. It really is a lot of pressure, and I'm excited for after I pay off, because I just need to pay another big chunk, which would be, I'm gonna be honest, it's $3,600, and the blessing is I have it, and that doesn't involve it coming out of my family income. It's from, I think I'm shocking my husband that he's like, what? I'm shocking him that I'm doing so well, but I'm also investing it back into the business by buying the laser. And so I think after this, when I get it in, and let me just share this, there's more pressure coming this coming week. The laser's showing up. This laser is 75 by 60 or 57, and this laser weighs 1,500 pounds. Like, it's huge. The little laser that they lent me, that laser is 500 pounds, and it was torture to move from the front of the house to the back of the house to over here downstairs. I'm literally right now, I am trying to figure out how to empty out the room, figuring out how to, I'm just in the figuring out stages on how, thank God my husband, it has a heavy equipment truck, that he has a crane, because he was going to have to lift the laser and drag it to the backyard of my house, because I don't even know, but we're going to try. I think I was calling a piano company, asking them if they could move it for me. And yeah, we're also getting ready to pay taxes. Ugh. I'm gonna do my taxes this week soon. I already made an appointment, and that's gonna be San, what you good? Okay, oh my God, you can make a lot of money with a laser. That's my hope. That's my investment. Hope. I'm hoping I'll get my money back. I don't know if I will. With a laser, you can laser tumblers. You can make plexiglass rulers. You can make wooden boxes. You can make signs, wooden, beautiful signs. You can make plexiglass signs, wood signs. You could etch on glass. You could literally, those beautiful vases and stuff. You can etch on those. You can, what else? You could cut fabric. You could cut, what is it? Gaskets. You can make gaskets and cut gaskets for different companies. It just depends on what you want to focus on. I want to focus my laser business in quilting, in a sense, more geared towards quilting, but you could just do anything. The only thing it doesn't cut is it doesn't cut gold, silver, or metals. But it cuts wood, particle board, oak, cedar. It cuts anything. You can engrave. So those charcuterie boards, you can literally personalize them and engrave someone's family name. You could engrave logos. Like, I was offered a job from a realtor. She wants me to make her keychains for her clients, and I could also do tumblers for her and her company, and have the company logo on the tumbler. You could do a whole bunch of different stuff like that with the laser. But initially, I wanted to make long arm quilting rulers for myself so that I could try it out. But there's a whole world out there that I didn't even know existed. I know there is a lady who does quilting. She does patterns and she quilts. She literally laser cuts all her fabric to the precise cut. So, and then she does classes and sells her kits. You could do anything. The other day, you know how I have a vent hole. It's a vent hole, and I needed to cut a 6-inch vent hole into a piece of wood, and because I was going to screw the vent thing into it, I literally laser cut the hole to fit the vent tube. and it fit precise to the hose that I was doing it. So you could literally laser. Oh, I lasered, which I shouldn't have lasered them because I did it too deep. You laser leather. You could cut leather if you're a leather maker, and you can cut different, you know how they make wallets and stuff like that. Instead of using those pressing things to cut the leather, the laser will cut leather and engrave it and do a whole bunch of stuff like that. I mean, it's just a whole new world. It's a whole new world. You can laser. I was lasering tumblers the other day, and it's just the neatest thing I've ever done. But it's also different. I love embroidery. But you can make money, and I think it's fast money. So like a tumbler, I got a set of, 12 tumblers for something, I don't know, $5. Okay, each tumbler came out to $5.25, and I could literally sell, just to engrave the tumbler, sell the tumbler for $10. And what makes the tumbler more valuable is you're literally putting whatever that client wants on their tumbler. So I have a sweet bee that I run, a quilt sewing bee. It's called the Sweet Honey Bee. I literally lasered the logo, and I lasered Sweet Honey Bee on it. And then I thought it was it's a heart with a whole bunch of, honeycomb filled. And I based it on scripture. It says that God promises a land of milk and honey. And that's why it says Sweet Honey Bee, because it's a quilting bee, but it's sweet honey, kind of promised land. And I thought, maybe you're being dumb. And then I asked the Holy Spirit, I said, Lord, is this ridiculous? And I love what God said to me. He said, Lorena, we all need some honey in our hearts. And what he was really saying is, we all need to have the promises of God in our hearts, and have faith that God is working everything out for our good if we love him. Like, he has good plans for us, and we have to believe in the promises. And a bee literally fills the cone full of honey, and we all need to fill the door chambers of our heart with promises of God. And when he said that, it just blessed my heart. Okay, I'm doing the right thing. And then on the tumbler, I put, we all need a bit of honey. And I put the scripture on the bottom of it. And that's what makes lasering kind of neat, because it becomes a very personal thing. And that's why I think embroidery is wonderful too, because I did embroidery labels and put the scripture, but the idea behind it, you could share. And we all have a thing, right? We all have our logo. We all have our own style. And in lasering, you could kind of implement that on wood, plastic, on anything other than metals, because it's not a CNC that cuts metal. But yeah, so I'm excited for it. And the only reason I'm keeping the foster baby laser is because I already have the tumbler maker in there, and I don't, it's a lot of process to remove things to put it back for it to laser those things. And I was considering buying, I got little tiny ones, and I have long flask ones, and I was thinking of getting big ones, I don't know, it's just a thing. Okay, so but initially I just want to make my own rulers, because rulers, and I'm that idiot, I ordered rulers from a lady a long time ago, and she was charging me to laser the rulers $8 a ruler for the little tiny ones. I've used them for tiny ones. And then I ordered large ones from her, and she charged me $11 for the large ones. Oh, Father, have mercy on me. The rulers were miserable. They were horrible. She did a horrible job. I paid her $180 for the rulers, and I was considering selling the rulers on YouTube, but I wanted to sell them at a decent cost. But if you're buying them at $8 and then you're selling them for $16, I thought that was ridiculous. And then the work she did was horrible. So I ended up just giving them away to all my YouTube subscribers, or to the people who were on my Facebook group, because I was so discouraged with the work she did. So the original reason I decided I wanted a laser is like, I wanted to do that kind of stuff. But if I get plexiglass, let's say the plexiglass cost me $2. If I charge $5 for the plexiglass, it's still inexpensive in comparison to when you go to, when you buy them for a quilting community. And I'm also jaded with the quilting community, because they want to rip you off because they think you're rich. And I don't know. You want to know how I really am? There was this girl there was this girl somewhere. Okay, I'm not going to share where. I promise, you tell me what rulers you want, and I will start making them. My hair looks weird today. And I will do well by y'all. I want to take care of my people. There was this girl, she had a pin cushion. And let me show you the pin cushion. Oh, I have money in here, huh? Oh, so this is a logo that I did for the Sweet Honeybee. I put this on the tumbler. Yeah, okay, so I'll show you the ruler she did for me. I kept one of her rulers, maybe two. Okay, let me share. All right. This client charged me, I couldn't believe it. It's this ruler. I asked her to put my logo, or a version of my logo. Okay, it has a heart with a letter L. The logo that I really want, it's a heart with the rose inside of it, because I'll share my testimony one day, but the Lord touched my heart with the rose, and so a rose inside the heart is very like a thing. If you see it on I have a water seal on my YouTube channel, and it has I'm sure you're probably seeing it. It has a heart with the letter L, but it's a rose inside the heart. And so I asked this client to please, the lady who did this ruler for me, to please do a heart with the rose on it. She couldn't do it. So she did an L, and I put Lorena. I asked her to laser my YouTube channel. I still have a blog. My blog is called athreadofscarlet.net. I asked her to do my blog, and I asked her to what else? Just to put specific things on there. Does she do it? And yeah, she has a blog in the Thread of Scarlet. Welcome to my blog. And then the ruler was a 3x6. It was just a 3x6. Here's my YouTube channel. So okay. Yeah, okay, loved. And so I asked her to do this ruler, and she charged me $8 for this ruler. It's a 3x6 ruler. It's a 3x6 ruler. I can't believe it. And what she said is that she used to go behind Lowe's, and they used to throw away their plexiglass, and she would like trash pick the plexiglass. Well, I thought she did a demo for me. She did a small demo for me, of course, not a real one, to show me what she could do. And so I ordered, I think, 10 of these. Yeah, 10 of these, and then 10 large ones. And it came out to $180. So 10 of these, she cost me $8. And the other ones, I don't know. She probably charged me $10 each one, and it came out, I don't know. It came out to $180. That's all I remember. And you could see the engraving. Oh, let me see. Let me see if you can see it. You can see that the engraving is not that deep. You could barely even see that I have any information there. I mean, you just can't see it. Can I put it this way so you can see it? Maybe you can see it this way. You just can't. You can't even really even see the grid lines, the grid marks. You can see some of this marking and the etching. But what infuriated with me is some of the rulers were cracked on the edge. The plexiglass ruler, like you could even see it was scratched up. It has these scratches all over it. And that's how she sold them to me. That's how she physically sold them to me. Like this one, these are Lisa Callie's, and you can literally see how beautiful and clean, and you can see the line work, how deep it is, and you could clearly see her logo. And you can see how clean the beautiful cut of the plexiglass is on the edge. And these are beautiful rulers, but a set of my lady, one of my favorite long armers, that she's just inspiring, and I have nothing to say. She's wonderful. A set of her rulers, I paid $180 for her rulers. $180 for a set. I don't know, for probably like 5 of them. 5 rulers, $180. And I just think that that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the only reason I couldn't afford it, I was broke as hell. I didn't have any money, and I just I needed rulers, and these are another set of her rulers. They're weird rulers I don't use. I know for her, they work for her, and they're great rulers for her, but her mind thinks a certain way, I think a certain way, and so these rulers, this set of rulers, these 3 rulers, I paid $120 for. $120 for 3 rulers that I don't use, and they're well made, whoever made them, but I think the reason they're so expensive is because they're going to a third-party creator who makes the rulers for them, and they're charging them for the laser cutting, and on top of, they're doubling that cost up to make these extraordinarily expensive. And I also think, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be, it's catering to white people, white retired people. Quilting is catering to a majority of white retired white people, and they know that you retired white people have a lot of money to spend, and I'm sorry, they're gouging your eyes out, because I could get a whole giant sheet of plexiglass, literally like a foot long plexiglass and wide plexiglass, for $120. And so it's just a game, I think. And that's why I feel that we, like, I love him, Quilters Apothecary. His rulers are a bit cheaper. He does great rulers. What I love about his rulers is that he has this hand positioning here. You know, it's a hand placement. It's a great ruler. This is a great ruler, but he's not as expensive as Lisa Callie. But Lisa Callie created this design. She created this concept. She created this is a spine, and I've had videos of this roller on how to use it. Well, I've tried to use it. It's specific to a certain dimensions on the border, on the edge of the border. So I don't know. I don't want to say anything about her. She's wonderful. She conceptualized this. Great designer. Great idea. But her idea transferred to my brain didn't process that well. But how do you know, right, if you see something and she's doing it so beautifully and so successful, and she's able to do it so well, in my mind is like, oh, I could do it too, and it didn't. Now I use them as ruler decorations, and maybe one day I'll sit down and I will really work on them and play with them, because it was an investment. But it's $120. They're expensive. And I got her set of these. She has wonderful classes, and she uses these to teach her classes, and she's an award winner. She has the power and ability to charge whatever the hell she wants, because she's a long arm quilter and she's an award winner. I mean, you know, but not saying nothing, okay? But this was $8, and the truth is this cost her $50. Well, she went to Lowe's and trash picked it. Because she didn't even give me brand new plexiglass. She trash picked it and charged me for new plexiglass. That I had her make me red ones. Do you see how beautiful this lasers, and you could see the engraving on the rulers that I had her make? You couldn't even see them. And I think quality control, and I'm a bit of a control freak about certain things. I'm not going to sell you something that looks like trash. I refuse. I'm not out. To me, like the client who took the job that she's not happy with, I'm like, I text her, I'll redo the shirts. Please give me the sizes. I will literally spend another 5 days so that you can have what you want. I'm not happy that she's not happy, but this lady didn't care. And the crazy thing is she packaged it, like wrapped them up, so I wasn't really able to see it. And she showed me this demo, and I understood. Well, she showed me a little demo. It was all scratched up. It was all gouged. It had water or heat marks on them. It was stained up. And I thought that was just the demo. And I thought that I would get a brand new, beautiful, clean, beautiful, unscratched plexiglass like this. And that was not the case. But I drove off, and I drove off, and she wanted to charge me $50 to mail them to me, and I'm like, I could drive there. And I drove. She was probably 30 minutes away. I drove there and picked him up, and I was just so unhappy. And this right here made me decide. This moment said, I want my own laser. You can make plexiglass stands for your rulers. You can make them out of wood. You can make them out of plexiglass. You can make a whole bunch of stuff. But I wanted to cater more to the quilting community, to make it affordable for all of us. Like, this is crazy. Like right now, I'm asking you a question. Don't you feel like you have to finance a loan to buy food? Like, I cannot believe how much groceries cost. Yeah, trash picked. This is trash picked. Which I understand, like, if I am tempted to go trash pick at Lowe's so I could get like broken plexiglass, but I'm not going to sell that to you. For example, look, I want to show you this. I don't know if you can see it. Can you even see it? There is, you can see, I don't know if you can see it. There's burn marks right there on the plexiglass here, which means that she didn't even know now that I know, right? Now that I'm learning, she didn't even know the right settings to cut her plexiglass. You know, the truth is, whether she knew what she was doing to me was whether she knew it or not, we all have our versions of clean. You know what I mean? You know, there's the crazy OCD cleaner. We have the crazy, there's just, to be honest, I had my father, he would smell, because, I don't know, he would just smell. He couldn't even smell himself. Okay. And he would reek. It was like Project Linus. He would walk and the whole air would just, whoa. There's just some people that, and I guess I'm not trying to be mean about my dad. I just think it's funny, right? To some people, this is professional quality work. And that's in long arm quilting. I've seen people who've done the worst long arm quilting job ever, and to them, it is professional. It's great work, even though they have loopers, even though the tension is horrible, even though there's pleats, there's buckles, there's some people think that it's great work. Like with the client that I did work for, I did great work. It was just the misunderstanding of what logo she wanted. And it was her wording. It wasn't even my fault, but I love my work so much and I want it to stand on its own. I'm willing to lose money to redo the job because I want her to be like, you know, Lorena did me right. Because I'm sure right now she's like, Lorena didn't listen to me, even though I wrote it down, what she told me to do. And I have it documented and I have proof that it wasn't me. I still want to do the right thing for her. But some people don't care. And you see it everywhere. Like when you go to a restaurant, you see people serve you with attitude and they're not even proud of themselves. And then you have another group of people that dress like professionals when they're doing a menial job. It's to her, this probably was great work, but I couldn't sell this to make $8. Even I couldn't even sell it for $8. I mean, I couldn't sell it for $8. There's no way I could sell it for $8. It's no way. But I wish that it was just for her using it for demos. You know what I mean? Because then it's not costing her anything. She can reuse it and she can make demos for people and share what she can do. But I feel that she should have not used a product that was already scratched up, worn. But to her, I'm making money off of nothing. So, hey, she got a deal. Okay, let's say. Yes, groceries, man. Oh, I went grocery shopping and I can't imagine. I saw a lady who was pregnant with a baby and she had 3 other babies. Oh, I can't imagine having to deal with groceries with that. I can't imagine. Yeah. That's true. Be upfront with me. Give me a cut deal. Sell it to me for $3. She still would have made money. But yeah, I mean, so how long have we been here? Oh my God, we've been here an hour and 30 minutes. Hour and 30 minutes. All right, ask me questions. I'm ready to answer you. Quick fire if you have any. Bye, Galen. Graylin. Thank you for being here. Sorry it took too long. No, Courtney, you're fine. Any questions? What can I help you with? I've been talking about myself all day. Sorry. I'm here for y'all. I'm here. Thank you for taking time. So when am I selling my rulers? What I would like you to do is message me. Tell me what you're interested in. Do you want a straight line ruler or you want a ruler that does this? Do you want circle rulers? Do you want curve rulers? I literally made a ruler. I'm going to share with you my favorite ruler. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. Heartbreak. It's hard to speak up for yourself. But you kind of grow into it. If you go on Lorena's embroidery business, Lorena's embroidery business. If you do embroidery business and then put Lorena and then embroidery business, the video should pop up. Hi, Melanie. I'm sorry, I'm not saying your name. Melian. How are you doing? But honestly, let me know. I can make anything. I bought plexiglass, brand new plexiglass. I'm making keychains for a realtor. I did. A lady came to my. She wanted to know she saw the machine in front. I am going to do a laser video. Please come and support Lorena's. I think it's lasering with Lorena. I still don't know the name. I still don't know what I'm doing. I want to do videos on that channel. Have I quilted with monofilament thread and hot tension? Okay, Elaine, monofilament. I have quilted with it, but I don't like it in the bobbin. So if you could possibly quilt the top with the monofilament and then have a thread color that matches the back in your bobbin case. What long arm did you get? I have a Gamble Statler Stitcher. Optimum. And the reason I am happy, you need help making swirls? Okay. The reason I got the Gamble Optimum is because you could literally, if you do a dense quilt, you could do 2 rows in one shot. It has a real long throat space. Or you could do beautiful quilting and have a lot of workspace even after you've rolled up a large quilt. So I like big throat space. A lot of people bought an 18-inch throat space and then it decreases to 15 because as you roll the quilt, you take up some space on that. So if you could get a long arm with the longest throat space possible, like I don't know if it could get you to see it. Hold on. Look, I don't know if you see, it has all right, wait. It has a real long throat space. You want that for your long arm quilting because you'll roll less. You'll get more quilting space quilted and you're not rolling the quilt, because what tires you out when you're working a long day is that rolling of the long arm, the bars. It's an old Juki 210. It's so much fun. I have no idea what I want. I got my long arm a few weeks ago. I needed a starter set. Okay, yeah, you need, if you're gonna do ruler work, you need a straight ruler. Honestly, you just need a straight ruler and you need a stitch in the ditch roller. That's like, I think the beginning. Down the line, if you want to learn how to do curves or circles, but that takes some time to learn. But just straight line ruler. Hold on. All the one basically Okay, Darlene, you're asking what? Okay, let it know. Do all long arms have basically the same setup when you put the backing and all on it? No. Sorry, no, because the some long armors have a thinner leader system. You know what's on that bar that pulls that fabric. I feel that it's not as strong with the amount of use you're gonna long arm. The concept is the same, but some long armors have the bars in different positions and they roll differently. Like I know one of them has just the way the bar setup is. I know there's one company, I think in Nova, they have a remote control where it'll roll for you remotely. So the setups are not the same necessarily with the bar system, but the long arm itself, they're kind of in generally the same. Innova, I like Innovas because they have the ability, they have a button on the bottom where the bars are. Where my bars are, the buttons are higher and they're higher up. So it's harder to do custom quilting because it's like I have to push the button and then control the long arm with a handle on the bottom, if that makes sense. If you look at my long arm quilting videos where I'm long arming custom quilting, that's what I'm talking about. It's not as user friendly Gamel is on the bar system. Innova has a beautiful bar system that goes down and you're closer to the machine, so it gives you the ability to start and stop quicker when you're moving the machine. On me, I move the machine with one thing that they kind of jiggered. They made these arms and that's very low, and I have to have one hand on top if I want to stop and start. So the working mechanical systems are different, and that's something that you're going to have to figure out when you're looking into long arming. What I don't like about Innovas, the mechanical arm system to start and stop are wonderful. But what I don't like about the Novas is they have a square back. So on the back where that bar is right there, that bar, you see that bar? That gets full of fabric when you're rolling on a quilt. The issue with that is that takes up space. On Gamel, they have a rounded back. So when the fabric gets full, the fabric fits in the back of the roll. With Innova, it has a square back. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see it. Do you see this roll? That roll? That roll is something you want because this bar gets full of the quilt fabric as you quilt along. Gamel's start and stop system are on these bars. So when you're like these, if I want a custom quilt, these are the bars I use. So I don't have a start and stop system here. I have it here. So I wish there was a way of moving this down here. So when I'm custom quilting, especially when you're doing line work, you want to be able to stop and start quickly so that you can move around the long arm. But this is what I have right. But what Gamel did do right is this curvature right here. They did that right. And they have a curvature up here. So when the machine is way back on this bar, it's rounded to the bar. And Innova, what they did is they have a straight, like you could see the curve. I don't know if you can see my long arm. You want that curvature because that area gets full of fabric when you're rolling the quilt and you're finishing it. And so you have to decide what you want and what kind of style you want. And let me just say this, and Gamel is expensive. I'm not a sponsored, affiliated. I don't have nothing to do with Gamel. But that machine, they're workhorses. I have literally had that machine running 10 hours a day, and she does not stop. I don't know about other long arm systems, so I can't say, but I can say about mine. You're just gonna have to but I wish, Innova has those switches on the back, and Sharon Chamber had a gamble, and she loves Innova because she says that Innova has a better stitch quality, but stitch quality is controlled by your bobbin, your tension, and your thread. And I have kind of tweaked my machine to where I really do know where that sweet spot is, but that's through experience. And so, but I understand Sharon Chamber loves, I think, IntelliQuilter. Is it IntelliQuilter? I was saying Innova. But we all have different machines, and whatever machine you purchase or whatever machine you can afford, you want a machine you can afford, and it is not a burden to pay. So even if you have a Tin Lizzie, nothing's wrong with that, because there's this Green Fairy quilter, Jane Madison, is that her name? I love her quilting. She's beautiful, and I believe she has Tin Lizzies, and so it's not the machine, it's the mover of the machine. It's your practice, it's your time, it's how much time you want to invest in the skill of working. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Yes, Dana, learning, it's going to take, Dana, spend 30 minutes a day if you can. Judy Madison, I love her. Spend 30 minutes a day just practicing if you can, or even 30 minutes a week. It will improve your long arm quilting tremendously. I played. You want a spine roller? Okay. It will be 5 years long arm quilting. You guys can do it. You can make money off of this. Yeah. Jamie Madison. Judy Madison. Green Quilt. She has a blog. Green Quilters Fairy Green Quilting. I don't know. She's beautiful. And she has, she literally has a basic, I'm not saying a basic machine because all machines are expensive, right? But she didn't pay $50,000 for her machine to be able to do the kind of work that she's doing. Now, she's a custom quilter. Like, she specifically only does, I believe, for a long time, and I don't know now because I haven't seen her blog in a while, she specifically did ruler work, beautiful ruler work. And so if you're going to do a business, make sure you have a computerized system with it. Save your back, save your hips, save your shoulders, save your arms. When my husband told me that I should get a computerized system, I was like, no, get yourself a computerized system, because that's where you make the real money, to be honest. Custom quilting does not make you money based on time. You're not going to make the money on custom quilting. You're going to make the money on pantos, quilting across, rolling the quilt, quilting across, rolling the quilt. I did, as a matter of fact, I was so mad about the dumb vinyl job. I spent 5 days doing a vinyl job, and I'm gonna be straight. I made $250 on that vinyl job on 5 days. So I made $50 a day working for that lady, and I came up here one day and I finished 2 clients' quilts, two quilts, a large, probably kind of twin king quilt, plus another twin, let's say twin quilt. In that day, one day, because I have a computerized system, I made, let me see, 100, 300, I probably made $600 that day, that one day, $600 in that one day. And I'm not saying that that's what I make every day. What I am saying is that if you get clientele that you can do 4 quilts a day, it will vary from 400 to 600 depending on the size of the quilt. Some quilts, like the king size quilts, I can make $350 on a king size quilt, but that quilt takes a good 5 hours. Usually that quilt is all I did that day. So there is money in this industry, but it's not in custom quilting. It's not. It is in doing pantos. I'm sorry. It's in doing pantographs, and it's easier if you have a computerized system to do the pantographs for you. Once you learn the computer system, you can get yourself up and running. If you're going to custom quilt the quilt and manually do it, which is half the cost of the machine, it's going to take you 6 months to really learn the skill and the practice, and it takes a lot of time and shoulder work, and you probably only do 2 quilts in that day, so that's limiting your income. So I don't know if I'm making sense. Let me see. Instead of using piecing yes, they're actually, yes, Tiffany, the size does decrease as you roll the quilt. So my long arm is 22 inches. It's 22 inches and long, and so I'm able, usually the designs that I do, I'm able to do, 19 depth, 20 wide, which that's 3 rows. And if I do a 3-row quilt, that 3-row quilt could take me maybe less than 2 hours. And I made probably like $180 on that quilt. I don't know if it's helping telling you the value of time. And also the amount of density decreases the time, increases the time. I'm just sharing kind of those kind of time frames. How much density, like a lady wants me to do a more densely quilt for her, which is going to increase my time that I'm going to be working on her quilt. Like these baby quilts that I need to do, I need to get that one done. They take less than an hour. They don't take no time at all. Yes, it's worth the money if you can get a computerized system. And if you don't have one, I know a friend of mine, she retrofit hers and it cost her $15,000, and she's never regretted it. Time frames. Okay, so I did a quilt for Krista, and it was a king size quilt. It's 108 by 108. No, it's her 105 by 105. That's considered a king size quilt. That quilt took me probably, each row took me maybe an hour. I did on her quilt probably 4 to 5 rows, and so that that was a king size quilt. Queen size quilts, and that varies on density, how much quilting is in that space. So the less dense, the quicker the long arm will run through, and so it could be 45 minutes to an hour. And so I've had more highly dense quilts take an hour, and that's a king size quilt. A queen size quilt can take up to 3 to 4 hours, and those quilts, usually king size quilts, I charge like $350. Queen size quilts vary to like from $280 to $300 or $250. That's the varying range. They take 4 hours to quilt. Twins, I just recently did a twin, and it's 3 rows, and I laid it on the horizontal, not the vertical. When you lay a quilt on the vertical, which is longwise, you're rolling it, and then you're rolling it, and you're rolling it 5 times. If the design is like varied, it doesn't have directions, you can put a twin size quilt on the horizontal, and that's 3 rows. A row across, you roll it, and another 2 rows. I quilted that quilt, and I got paid $170. That quilt probably took me 2 hours. Now, designs matter. Just, that heart quilt that I did a video on, that design that I had to measure every space to make sure it was spaced right, that took me a good 5 hours, because you're measuring and the design is so kind of intricate that you have to make sure it's sitting in the right spot. Now, twins throws, they take 3 hours, and you could charge up to like $110 for a throw. Baby quilts can come out to like $50 to $70 depending on the size of the baby quilt, because baby quilts can go, they're baby, but they can also transfer into becoming a bit of a throw. So that's where that variation is. Yeah. And designs matter. The more intricate the design, the more time it takes. The less intricate the time, the less time it makes. But and then the way I charge for thread, people charge per bobbin. I'm not in agreement with that. Some long armers, man, they're just thieves. Some people charge per bobbin $3 for, hold on, $3 for one bobbin. I think that's a ripoff. I really think it's a ripoff, because what do you do when you don't use the whole spool of thread? Do you return the rest of the thread back to the client, or do you give them the bobbin? And so there is this kind of fraudulent aspect, because this is a bobbin I use for a client and I didn't go through the whole thing. So am I going to charge her a quarter of the $3, or am I going to charge her a half, or am I going to charge her the whole thing? And long arm quilters can manipulate the system on saying that, hey, I use 5 bobbins, I'm charging you $3, I'm charging you $15 for the thread, which, and this is the weirdest thing about it too, guys. I mean, I'm talking about thread costs. You could buy a spool of thread for $8. Keep that in mind. You could buy a huge spool of thread. Now, if you go King Tut or Superior, the expensive thread that I buy, I spend, I think it's $17 one spool, but they're for sale for $30 a spool. Okay, right? People use this cheap thread that I don't like. What is it called? What is the thread called? It's $7 and you get 15,000 square yards of it, and it is initially used for embroidery, and they use it for quilting, and quilters love using it because the thread is so cheap, but they can make a whole bunch of money off of you on thread. So you can be considered, you can get conned on how thread charges. I had a client who comes to me, she literally thought I was going to charge her $20 on thread, and I charged her $7. Or I don't even think I charged her $5, and then another $5 for another quilt. So I charged her 10. Yes, glide. I hate glide. I'm sorry. And people love it because it's cheap thread. It's polyester, and you make a lot of money off of it. Now, if you're a business person, yeah, I mean, I get it. But I think that people are coming to you to get quilting services. You should offer the best thread that will quilt lovely on your quilt. And if you're going to use a cheaper, like glide thread, be nice to people about how you charge. It didn't cost you that much, so don't poke their eyes out. But I think I spend a lot of money on my thread. I go to the Houston Quilt Guild. If you have a business account, you can get it on wholesale. I literally will spend $600 on my thread that I will use for that whole year. And I do make my money back, but I'm not ripping people off on, and I'm putting the best thread. I think King Tut, So Fine, YLI, Omni thread is wonderful. Even Connections thread, Essentials thread, a lady came and started using, she couldn't afford the thread, but she wanted her quilts quilted. She brought me her Connections thread, Essentials thread, and one whole spool did her quilt, and it quilted beautifully, and that thread only cost her $3. If your client can't afford you, be nice enough to let them use a different thread. And that client has been one of the biggest blessings in my life. She has brought literally 30 quilts to me in the lifetime that I've known her. And she's brought me like 5-6 different clients that have brought me quilts because I'm flexible enough to work with my clients. So just like we don't like being screwed when we buy rulers, you don't want to do the same to your clients when it comes to thread. And that's just my heart about it. I want the client, but just keep that in mind. You can still make good money by charging fair. But I was talking to my son about the fraud concept of let's see, like, okay, let's say I use this purple thread for my client, and I used 3 spools, and I only used one of these. Like, it's not even more than halfway. The moral concept is, are you going to charge them for the 4th spool, even though you got to keep some of the thread, or you are going to unravel the thread and give it to the client, or are you going to be kind enough to eat the spool? I literally had a lady one time, I quilted a quilt for her. I did her a favor. She brought her own thread. She unwound the spool and put it back on the on the thread spool. She unwound my bobbin because that's how tight she was. And what got me mad is I quilted the quilt for her for free. I was like, you tight, you stingy. But it's just people, man. And the truth is she has a long arm quilting business. No one comes to her because she's jacking them up. She screws them over. She cheats them. And I think people who cheat people are also the stingiest people. And I'm just saying, if you give and you're generous in your work, I think it comes back to you because you can be trusted with more. I'm just saying. Use Cosero basic color threads. Yeah, Omni thread is basic. You could buy a collection of beautiful Connections threads, Essentials threads for $24 and get a variety of threads. Connections thread is now doing a long arm quilting line, I believe, where they have longer spools, and they cost like $6-7 for a spool. Was as cheap as heck, but that thread is beautiful. Oh, let me share with you. Yes, pre-wound bobbins. Just recently, and I bought this at the Houston Quilt Show probably like 4 years ago. Okay, it's bad. 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. I bought this at Superior Thread. And it came with all these variety of colors. Just this, what is this? It's a bottom line. Okay, now that I have a new bobbin winder, I don't know if I'm going to have the same issue, but with my old bobbin winder, when I wound bottom line, I had issues with how it wound. For some reason, it tangled on me. And I saw these pre-wound for bottom line. I love this. I was going to put this on my favorites. I need to see if they still provide it. The pre-wound, I love the fact that it's multicolored. One I used literally, and it was a twin quilt. Okay, twin quilt. This, with the twin quilt, I used, do I have the other one up there? I used one whole one, and I used probably a fourth of this one, and it quilted a twin size quilt. it quilted a twin size quilt with a full one of these and a fourth of these. Now I understand why people love pre-wound. So now if you're doing the wound bobbin concept where you're charging per bobbin, you would only charge for one if you do a pre-wound, and you would only charge $3 for the whole quilt. If I was to wind them, I probably would have done, because I did 3 rows across, I probably would have done 3 bobbins on, maybe 4. I probably would have done 4 bobbins, 3 full ones, and partial 4th one. But pre-wound, man, I couldn't believe that. 1 bobbin and maybe a 4th of it. I love this. But pre-wound, it is, it's like toilet paper. Once you use it, it's gone. If you have a bobbin case, you have the spool. You could rewind your own bobbins constantly. But if I was to, it would cost me 4 in the idea of 1. Pre-wounds are pretty great. I used it. I really liked it. It quilted beautifully. It didn't give me any trouble. But these were bottom line. I think you have to find the, I don't know who else does these, but this is what, and they worked really great. I know some long armors that only buy pre-wound, but God, you're very limited to a certain color type. So like I had red thread on the top. You're limited to this color variation. You can only use those colors on your long arming. And if you have a bobbin, like I have a whole, you could wind any bobbin. But what I liked is I only used 1 bobbin with the pre-wound. So yeah, let me see your questions so I could answer them all. Okay, Courtney, message me whenever you want. Let's see. But you can make money. Honestly, I'm so thankful for the long arm quilting business. I was able to renovate my kitchen with it. I had a budget of only like $10,000, and I was able to fix this upstairs room because of the extra money that long arm quilting gave me. And it was such a blessing because at the time when I was renovating up here, got a lot of work. Just like I said, to pay off the laser, I'm using this business to pay off the laser. So it's not a debt that I'm imposing on the family. Like when I first bought my embroidery machines, my family paid for the embroidery machine. When I'm saying my family, the family income paid for that. And it had to eat the burden of paying for the ability to have the embroidery machine. So you can make money in anything. Let me just be honest. If you want to do vinyl, I'm going to do some videos on the business of vinyl, the business of embroidery, and the business of long arm quilting, because they all have their benefits. And I have some children that do vinyl shirts, and they make really good money. And it's a very low cost to start one. All you need is a Cricut cutter and a heat press to do vinyl shirts. And the other day, just in vinyl, I did decals for a trucking company, and in less than probably 3 hours of cutting vinyl, I ended up making close to $400 for decals for the trucks, the DOTs. So there's an ability to make money in every avenue that you're doing. It's just, do you love doing it? But let me see. Anyone else have questions for me? because we're here already almost 2 hours. Let me see. Time frames. Yeah, I'll already share the time frames, right, Miss Darlene? I already shared time frames. Don't buy pre-wound bobbins. Yeah, I like pre-wound. I was not sold on them, but heck yeah, if I could get like instead of winding some of my own, and I could use this and it matches the quilt that I'm working on, I'm coming to this. I really liked them. So you guys okay? Yes, we've been here a long time. I want to just tell you that I love you guys. I love you and appreciate you. Thank you for messaging me. Some of you are worried about me, and I just appreciate you. Okay, I feel guilty for for just. I don't have time to edit a video. I'm busy. And then I'm just trying to make sure that I maintain my health and stay healthy. But I really just want you to know that I love you guys. Go to Loneliness Quilting Facebook group. I'm more available there than here when you comment. Sometimes I don't get your comments. If you're interested in rulers, send me a design, send me your ideas, send me whatever you want, and I'll try to recreate it. And right now, I'm in the beginning stages, so take advantage of it. I'll probably give you a really great deal because I'm learning. And if you're willing to tolerate my learning experience and just, I'm learning. When I made that little cup, it was misaligned, and it's like, hey, I'm giving it away. It's a gift. It's okay. But I really do appreciate you, and I'm hoping, I don't know if Clarissa's here. Clarissa sent me one of the most beautiful quilts that I quilted. I want to do a video on that. I also want to do a video on my favorites. And I also want to do some scrambled egg videos where I'm sharing like all of it, like the embroidery. I'm doing a long arm. I'm doing this other crap that comes up, and just do scrambled eggs. And then I call it's a scrambled egg kind of day because it's not all one set thing. But yes, so message me if you can on Lorena's Facebook group if you want, and then, or message me on Messenger. I usually do get those. But yeah, I appreciate you, and I thank you for your time. I can't believe you've been with me 2 hours, and 2 hours, and I need my readers now. 2 hours and 17 minutes. Okay, I love you in the Lord, guys. Thank you, okay? All right, bye. And if you have questions, comment them. Okay, I'm looking for my embroidery videos. I'll send it to you, Tiffany, if I find it, okay? See you later, guys. Stop streaming.